Hey guys, this is RD Techie. On this episode of Techie Tips, I'm going to tell you how you can turn your phone into a Stream Deck. When I became a streamer, when I started streaming, the one thing I hated doing was alt-tabbing out to mute, alt-tabbing out to start and stop my stream, and some games have issues with alt-tabbing, so it was just a messy thing to begin with. So what I was looking for was a Stream Deck, and Elgato has a really magnificent piece of hardware called the Elgato Stream Deck. Sadly, however, it is quite pricey, especially if you're just starting out. At $99 for the little mini version, up to $150 for the bigger one. It's quite expensive for someone who just started streaming. So without making that investment, I did want that functionality, the choice to mute my microphone for a cough, the choice to stop and start a stream, the choice to swap between scenes on OBS. So I did the normal thing and I looked to Google, and what I found was a software called Rockcat Power Grid. Now this video is not about that software, but I just want to go through it, why I used Rockcat for a little bit and why I stopped. So the Rockcat Power Grid, Rockcat is a company that manufactures hardware from keyboards to mouse to headphones and all that. But the Power Grid software is basically a software that lets you communicate with your phone to control macros. Macros meaning long key presses, shortcuts, things like that. So if I click a button on here on my phone, theoretically it will do that shortcut on OBS. The issue here is that some games use the same shortcuts, or it's spotty, it doesn't always work. And when you have a Stream Deck, you want that dependability, you want the reliability that it will work every single time. Sadly, Rockcat did not give that for me. The Power Grid launcher just did not stack up. It was spotty at best. It would have some streams that would work all day, sometimes it wouldn't. And every link I tried to go find this thing, it just went to a 404 page. So I'm guessing it's lost support, so it's just not been updated, or I don't really know what the details are, but it was becoming unusable. I had to go back to the alt-tabbing, the muting, and all that. It was again a pain in the ass. That is when I was looking through mountains of video files on YouTube, video files, who uses that word anymore? Videos on YouTube, I came across a video by The Frugal Streamer who introduced me to Touch Portal. Now, I thought Touch Portal would not work with Stream Elements, which is the add-on for OBS. The Touch Stream Elements OBS Live is what I use to stream. Now, if you're using Streamlabs, you have the Streamlabs remote to do most of those things, so it's okay, you're set. But when you're using Stream Elements like I do, I did not want to change to Streamlabs just for that, because I enjoy using Stream Elements. Touch Portal is an app that lets you do all that each and every time. It's dependable, it's reliable. So if you open up Touch Portal, this is my Touch Portal port. You just saw a WebSocket thing open up. I will get to that. So this is Touch Portal, and it has the buttons I use the most. It has the start stop stream button as the mute buttons. It has the game scene, the Tarkov game scene. Now the Tarkov game scene is different for me because I use more saturation with Tarkov, and then the BRB screen in case I have to leave for a second or two, get some water, get a drink. And these buttons are actually just soundboard. These are buttons that I've used to make my stream a little bit livelier, a little bit more fun for the viewers. So whenever they use a command, for example, I have an exclamation rip command. That rip command shows me that I've died so many times since adding the command. I will use that button to do the sound effect, which is off a sad trombone, the wah wah wah, so something like that. So what this gives me, in addition to the Slobs or Streamlabs remote, is that the soundboard functionality. It also lets me use this grid to use it as whatever I want. Now I can create different pages. If I want a sites page, a social media page, a apps page, I can select it in any way. I can even use it to set up for my image manipulation in case you want to do that. I can set up Adobe products to work with it. I can set up GIMP to work with it. I haven't done that, so I can't really tell you how it works there. I am, however, going to be doing that, so expect a setup video for that a little bit later. Now this is the part of the video where I talk about how to set up Touch Portal. Now before we go into that, I just need to let you know there are two versions of the software. One is the free version, which you may think I'm using, but I'm actually not. It's just that hasn't gone away yet. That is all. I have the functionality of the pro version. The free version is obviously free, but they have a little bit of limitation. It is not something that holds you back too much. You could possibly have a very functional stream deck running with the free version. Now you have two pages you can make. Pages are like this one here, just things you can select on apps. These are each pages. Now you can make two pages, you can have 4x2 grid and fill them up. So that's the free app. Now for the full version, it's like that. It's unlimited. There are no ads for either. There are unlimited pages. You can make as many as you want. Each page with a custom grid size that supports up to 110 buttons per page. So that 110 buttons like these can be on one page. That said, you have to understand you're working with the real estate of a mobile phone. So if you have 110 buttons on your mobile phone screen, it's gonna get a little confusing. There is no swiping so far. The developer said if it's a highly requested software, they'll look into adding it. But for now, it is not there. So you gotta play with the real estate, set to what you want. I personally use a 6x4 page, and I leave that space because it gives me a gap between the top and the bottom, so I don't accidentally hit stop stream while I'm trying to do the Homer woohoo sound. So that is basically what Touch Portal is. It is worth looking into. Now if you want to know how to set up Touch Portal, look no further, just keep watching and I'll walk you through all the steps. First of all, to get started on Touch Portal, the first thing you need to do is go to the website touchportal.com, touch-portal.com. The link will be in the description. So when you get there, you have a good idea of what all you can do, what features you can do, unlimited pages, import, export, selectable page grids. It gives you all the features. So if you want to read through that, it'll be very helpful for you to know. It'll work with Windows or Mac OS PCs or laptops and Android and iOS phones. So you can pair them up. I use an Android and a Windows. I don't know if you can use an iOS with a Windows. I expect you could. And you can get it at the App Store. The links are there and you can download these to work with. So first you want to download the Windows installer. Once you run through the installer, it'll give you Touch Portal. It won't give you a desktop icon. What you can do is just hit start, search for Touch Portal, right click and say pin to taskbar, which is what I've done because that's something I'm using every stream. It's become an integral part of my streaming kit. Now when you start Touch Portal, you probably have a very blank outfit like that. Now if you try straight up to just connect to OBS, it won't let you because it'll say check connection to OBS. So once you have this downloaded and installed, once you have your app installed on your mobile phone, you're gonna open the mobile phone app and it'll ask you for the IP address you can find here, and then it's gonna ask you for the port. So these two numbers that you find here, you're gonna use and you're gonna type it into the mobile phone, allowing your phone to connect to Touch Portal to the app on your PC. Now I have them both on my same network. I don't know if that makes a difference, whether you need to be on the same network or not. I am not too much of a genius to know that, but I would expect you do need to be on the same network. So you need to have your phone on Wi-Fi or in your PC on the LAN, or both on Wi-Fi, something to just let the phone and the computer interact. So once you have the port and the IP done, you can select the tutorial, select the page, which will be the main one, but it will look like this. Now, to enable this to work with OBS, you're gonna have to do an additional step, and that is to go to this link. I will put the link in the description, and it will give you a list of downloads. So you can have a few, obviously on Windows, and I don't know if this works on Mac. I am not sure, but basically you have to click on the Windows installer, download it, and once the download is complete, run through the installer. What this WebSocket does is it lets Touch Portal communicate with OBS Live or OBS. I use OBS Live from Stream Elements, and this WebSocket lets Touch Portal communicate to that software. So when you have that installed, first thing you want to do if you're using it with OBS again is to close Touch Portal. Boot up OBS first, alright, then open up Touch Portal. Now, as you can see, you saw that pop up right there. That means the WebSocket connection is established. Now, if you had Touch Portal open and then you booted up OBS, it will not establish. This is an issue that only this version of the app has. The next upgrade lets you click to connect. So far, right now, the order is open up OBS, then open up Touch Portal, and you'll get that pop-up of WebSocket. Now, if it still doesn't work with OBS, just post in the comments and I'll work with you, because sometimes it does give you an error the first time, but once you set it up properly, it works fine. So let's move on to the next step. So let's say you're starting up, you have a blank page, and what you have is an idea of wanting to do a Stream Deck for recording. So I want to do a Stream Deck for recording. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click open, click on a tile I want to use. So the first one's fine for me. I'm going to select an icon. I'm actually going to type in what this thing is, what I want this thing to do. So I'm going to start, because it's going to be the start recording. I'm going to select an icon. You can select from icon packs. It gives you these many things to do. Now, you can use OBS buttons or like icon packs. I like using custom icons. So if I'm going from File, you just go to Software, gotta go to Switch. That's my, well, you'll have your own files. And I have the button here for OBS. So I'm going to open that and you'll see that button pop up there. So obviously I cannot see what that's written. So you can select where that lettering goes. You can have it on top. I prefer to have it on bottom, and you can select the background color of the button. I prefer start to be green because it just says green. It says start from the start. Let me go with that one. And the transparent background removes the background entirely. I prefer to have the rounded corner because it just looks better on your phone. So now that's done, I get to tell it what the action is going to be. So I click plus right here on actions, and then I know it's going to be OBS, and then I'm going to go to start recording. Now that's, if there's any issues with connection of OBS, you will get it right there. You'll say it's not getting connected or something. If you do get it, let me know. I'm going to help you through it. So you click start OBS, start recording. Now I know that is done. I'm going to hit save. That is done. Now I need a stop recording. So again, I'm going to go to the icon packs. I'm going to actually do stop writing. Go to the file and find it. You have to go back to the folder from the documents every time right now. Next upgrade, they're going to let you remember where you were before. So you would be already on this page. And you can just go boop, and again have the writing go on the bottom. Obviously red is stop, so I'll do that. Rounded corner, transparent background. I just like having that. And then again plus OBS stop. I hit save. Remember to hit save. If you don't hit save, it's just gone. Now that is pretty much the bulk of the thing I want. Now I want the thing to mute. Again, I'm going to use this, but this time I am going to use from icon pack because it has something. So I am gonna use, there you go, thing. I'm gonna write, because I want to know which I'm muting, I'm gonna mute the PC first. Again, put it on the bottom, give it a color, let's give it that blue. That's the text, sorry. I will give it a blue. And I will do the transparent and the rounded corner again. Plus OBS, let's see, toggle mute volume. Now I'll give you sources. Now if sources don't pop up, again, let me know in the comments and I'll try to help. Since this is PC, I want the desktop audio muted. I click add, boom, done, save. Now I want another one to mute my microphone, same steps. So I'm gonna do the same icon. So I'm gonna go from file, from icon packs to, there you go, oops, same. But because I don't want it to look exactly the same, I'm gonna give this the purple one. I'm gonna type in mic, and then I'm gonna put it at the bottom. And the rounded corner transparent thing. Now this I use for soundboards. It makes the pic become really big, but as you can see, it's hard to read in that case, so I keep that small for most buttons. For buttons that use the icon entirely, I just use the full button size. Now this time I'm gonna do it again, but OBS, toggle mute volume, I'm gonna do mic and aux, and then I'm gonna hit save. That is pretty much all your volume control, your basic needed controls done. Now say I need to change scenes to a BRB, or I want to change from desktop scene to a game scene. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write game. I'm not going to bother doing icons because the step is the same. You put up a same thing you want. So I'm going to do game scene. I'm going to give this a orange color, and I'm going to give the writing black so it stands out a bit. Now I'm gonna put the writing there in the middle, that's fine. Transparent background, rounded corner, and I'm gonna add that. OBS, scene selection, I'm gonna go with game. So whenever I hit that button, OBS is selecting that game scene. And again, this time I'm gonna go desktop, and again, I'm gonna pick that color, I'm gonna pick the black for the text, transparent border, rounded colors, rounded corners, plus OBS, scene selection, and I'm going to talk because that is my desktop source scene. So now if I want to quickly change from game scene to desktop audio, desktop video, desktop source, all I need to do is hit that desktop and game scene button. This gives you pretty much a strong control over what is going to be happening on your recording. This gives you a thorough control over it. Now say you want it to change even more. You want the control of having soundboard. You want to add effects to your recording. So what you can do there is I'm going to show you a simple one I did, which is the death sound. Whenever I die on a stream, my viewers get to do the RIP command, which is the command that does that. That's the command. So whenever they type that in the chat, my bot counts how many deaths I've had since adding that command, which is about a lot of deaths. So if I want the death command to appear, and I want when I see that death command appear, I play an audio bit, which is a soundbite I got online. So what I do there is I go to file, I go to software, Twitch, and buttons, and then I go to Reaper, open. Now that pretty much clearly signifies death for me, so I don't need to write death. I can simply just have this be a gray, and I have this be a picture. So that's the entire picture. So I have the transparent background on, rounded corners again. Now here I add audio, play audio. Now I get to choose the file it plays. Again, it'll put me there. Go back to software, go to the folder, you have the audio. I have it in a folder called sounds, fail, sad trombone, that is the sound effect, and you add it, boom. Every time you hit that button on your phone, this womp 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 sound will play if you have that. If you put something like oh no, or if you put Snake from Metal Gear, it'll play whatever sound you put on that button. So I'm gonna hit save. There you have your first soundboard. Now you can go wild with this. You can have different sound effects. Now my own main one, I have about 5 sound effects and about different scenes and things. I'm even gonna add more to these. I'm gonna add more sound effects. Now if you want to switch back and forth, so if I want to go to the recording thing, what I would do is have a button here, click recording buttons. So it's because two rec buttons, it's too big, I don't want it. Yeah. Now I'm gonna put the background color into something that's very noticeable. Change the writing in there. Transparent background, rounded corners, no icon for button size, it's fine. Here I go to page, and I can select tutorial because that's where all the recording buttons are. Now if I hit rec buttons, in the app itself, it'll go to this page and it'll give me all the buttons that the recording has. So it's a very useful thing to be having if you're a streamer. The upgrade unlocks unlimited pages for your app. Usually by default in the free version, you're limited to 2 pages. So you have the main and I guess 2 additional pages, or I think 2 additional pages. You're not allowed more and more. But in the upgraded version, it's unlimited pages, and each page can have 110 buttons. So you're limitless when it comes to that. I would recommend having a little restraint when it comes to the amount of buttons you put in there, just because you need to work with the real estate of a phone. If you have a tablet, great. If you have a touchscreen tablet that's a 10-inch, you could probably throw an easy 30-40 buttons on there per page and you won't have an issue. So this is pretty much Touch Portal. If you have any doubts, if you want to know how to set it up further, if you have some doubts on what I did to set up a specific thing, if you run into some errors, please do let me know in the comments in this video, and I will reply as soon as I can and hopefully help you fix it. If you want me to do a tutorial on a different app, you want me to check out a different app, maybe you have an app that I should be checking out, let me know in the comments below and I will definitely give it a try. Now Touch Portal has won me over as a customer and I've upgraded to the pro version of the app. The funny thing being that the one thing that convinced me more than the complete app is the fact that the customer service was just exemplary. You do not see a customer service experience like that from a company these days. It's just they're absolutely happy to connect with consumers. If you happen to use their app or software, I recommend you hit them up on Twitter, say thank you. If you have a question, ask them on Twitter. They'll be very quick to answer. They are quick to answer any queries you have, any doubts, any issues, any problems. They are really quick to answer. For example, I went and bought the app, but for some reason Google Play did not process the payment from Google to the developer. So it went from my account, but they never got it. So they just suggested I refunded it, and they handed me the Pro upgrade for free. It is, I mean, if they did this to a big streamer, I would understand, but I've not even affiliated at this point, and they did it just because they thought it was the right thing to do, and that is, in my book, the coolest thing any developer has done for me. So I am really so happy to support them, and if you happen to buy it, tell them you bought it, and I guarantee you they'll thank you. Especially Ty, and I don't know how big a team it is. I don't know if it's just him, but Ty's the one I've dealt with, and seems to be the same person Frugal Streamer dealt with. He's just top notch. He even dropped by my stream, said hello, followed and everything. It's just really, you know, he cares about his product. You know he's happy to try and help you as much as he can. He's a model developer, and I hope we have more developers following in his footsteps. So this is Touch Portal, the tutorial, the overview, the entire thing in one video. The links to everything I've just said is in the description as always. Also the link to my Twitch if you feel like going ahead and giving me that follow. I'm still on that grind to affiliate, but I am having lots of fun and I'm having a blast just doing it. So this is RD Techie. Till the next episode of Techie Tips or some random video. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be me saying goodbye. I hope you have a great day or days ahead, and I hope you give Touch Portal a try, because that is one app that deserves your support. Till next time, goodbye.